This is the Behringer Grandma, and it might be bad news. I don't hate Behringer. This microphone's Behringer. I've got a bunch of their effects pedals and their 303 clone. I had their 808 clone. But these are sort of industry standard products which are cloned and copied by everyone. Every guitar company makes a tube screamer. Every guitar company sort of makes a big muff. These are items which is generally acceptable to have been cloned because everyone's done it. In a weird way, it sort of makes sense. But now Behringer are just into the trend of copying current generation in production hardware and marketing it off as a cheaper knockoff version. They really started this with the Behringer Swing, which I did a video on, which is just a clone of the Arturia Keystep, and it's just maybe $30 or $40 cheaper. And in that video, I'd sort of made a point that soon they'll be doing the Micro Freak and a few other sort of more modern synthesizers. And now this Behringer Model 15 Grandma, they are sort of just showing that they're just going to keep targeting current generation synthesizers. They've already announced the Edge. Well, they announced that a while back. It's still not out, surprisingly, which is a clone of the DFAM. Now, I'm not against lower price gear. I use a lot of lower price gear. I can't afford expensive gear. But I think it's damaging if they're basically saying everyone should be able to afford this, so we're just going to make cheaper versions of it, because it's going to stop companies innovating. Ultimately, you're not getting the true experience. It's like if Skoda suddenly said, we're going to make our Skoda Ferrari. It's a copy of a Ferrari, but it's not going to be the real thing. And I've said it several times before. I really wish Behringer would actually focus all their energy and research and development into making original products. They've made some great stuff. If they actually focus on being original, I think they could really come up with some good quality gear. But instead, I think it's the cheaper option, basically, to cover this gear that's out of the reach of most people, out of my reach, and just make cheaper versions. And when they announced the Behringer Swing, and there's a fair bit of controversy, they put out a statement basically arguing the different types of marketing strategies, marketing leaders, challengers, followers, and niches. They basically justified it saying all companies clone stuff and get their products cloned. That's our job. So they're basically saying we're making cheap gear at lower price, lower cost. And Behringer's marketing strategy is about affordability, and here everyone should be able to do this. But ultimately, a synthesizer, it's a luxury bit of kit. It's the same with a high-end guitar. It shouldn't just have the rights. Everyone should be able to enjoy this or use this. It costs money to develop and produce and so on. And there should be it shouldn't be about pricing people out of it, but it's Behringer's argument that everyone should be able to have one is a bit, you're not getting the real deal, you're getting a cheaper knockoff version of it. But if that's what you want, that's fine. I mean, some of their gear is pretty decent. So I'll stop going on now. The real problem is, of course, that they've announced about 10 synthesizers so far. So if you wanted this Model 15, it'll probably come out in 2032 or something. So it just joins a list of Behringer announcements that will eventually at some point be released. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get the Behringer Micro Freak next. But this is just a quick sort of me trying to cash in the old controversy around it, really. So yeah, thanks Behringer.